Well, that does it for season 3 of the hit ABC show Scandal. And here's your spoiler alert. If you are not caught up, you might want to look away right now and watch our archive because Jake Ballard is joining us to give us his take on last night's finale. So this was, it was an explosive episode, a lot going on, a lot of drama, some very traumatic situations, and Olivia did end up taking Jake with her on the plane. That was the final scene. What do you think that means for season 4? I mean, I would like to think that it would be happily ever after for them, but she has to come back, or otherwise there would be no show.
Yeah, unless it, unless the show becomes Lost or something bizarre like that, I have a hard time seeing that happening. Though I think, I think she needed to get out, and I think in her mind that that taking Jake made leaving a little more comfortable. I think from Jake's point of view. Such an interesting thing to do, isn't it? When someone tells you they're in love with someone else, to say it's okay, I still want you. I don't know if it's a personal choice I'd make, but it was an interesting character choice for Jake, I thought.
All right, so the thing is that we've interviewed a number of your cast mates on HuffPost Live here, and thankfully they've let me do it because I'm a huge Scandal fan. And I always ask them if they're on Team Fitz or Team Jake. The answer, I guess, here seems a little bit obvious, but I feel like I have to ask you too. Are you Team Fitz or Team Jake? Just as a fan and someone watching the show, who do you think Olivia should be with?
Well, I was a fan of the show before I was on it. That being said, I was an Olitz, if you to coin a term, an Olitz fan. I love the chemistry that Carrie and Tony have together, and even the phone call they had last night, where they didn't talk and they just sort of said, don't hang up and let's just be on the phone together. It was very. It's hard not to root for them, isn't it? But that being said, as the actor playing the character of Jake, I'm fully on Team Jake.
All right, good to hear. A lot of people here at HuffPost.
What about you? Where are you?
I'm so obviously on Team Jake. I've made this very clear for a long time. Definitely Team Jake. And I'll have to admit, I have a very hard time showing any compassion for Fitz's character and for the president, even after an episode like last night, where his own son was killed. So maybe something is wrong with me. But what do you think that we could expect from Fitz and Mellie's relationship going forward too? Is there going to be something that's repaired there?
I hope so, because I think it seems that everything, all the problems or the problem that was in their marriage has sort of come to light, and they now have the chance to deal with it. Wouldn't it be great if if the fact that all the problems stemmed from her being raped by his father, now that it was out in the open, they could talk about it and deal with it and fix what was wrong in their relationship? Although I don't know if I see that happening, just because of the love that he has for Olivia Pope.
My question is it awkward for you doing love scenes with Kerry Washington, being that she's pregnant and, due any moment? Is there some kind of, awkwardness between you and her being, before she wasn't, and now obviously there's this, huge belly in the way?
Yeah, it makes things a little more difficult. Those scenes are, look, it's part of my job, right? And it's not a bad part of my job. I love all of it, but it's hard to enjoy those scenes. A, because you're not really in love with the person you're doing those scenes with, and B, because there's so many different things happening around you, whether it's the light or the camera or the people and the guy fixing her bra or my hair or. But when you throw in, so it's awkward to begin with, right? And I don't know if anyone truly enjoys it, but when you throw in a belly on top of that or underneath it, depending on the position we're in, it makes it even more so. So we've had to have some pretty lengthy conversations about how to shoot it, the positioning of our bodies. But that being said, it's a challenge to sort of figure out. It's a riddle to figure out the answer to. So it's enjoyable nonetheless.
Well, I got to say, one of the things that I love the wardrobe on this show, and so it was definitely a little noticeable this time around that Kerry Washington's, clothes were changing this season.
There's a lot of really fun, bubbly stuff on Scandal going on. If you still want to watch the show after I'm dead, I can't quite imagine why you would, but no, I'm just kidding. I'll be watching tonight as well.